I'm Adam Willems, lead reporter at the Financial Revolutionist.
Hi, I'm Deniz Johnson. I'm the COO of Stratyfy.
Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for inviting me.
Yeah, of course. I'm wondering if you could briefly outline what you do as COO at Stratfy.
My responsibilities stems from, goes from all the way from all of our client implementations, integrations to, of course, as a very hands-on COO, getting involved on the product, pretty much making us fueling the growth of the company. And if I would describe my role, you could think of me as a Swiss Army knife that kind of does many things while the train is moving and we're putting the tracks down.
Yeah, sounds fast-paced at the very least.
It is fast-paced, which is wonderful. Very typical for a younger company, but very growing company with very bright future.
Yeah, absolutely. And speaking of that future, I think it would be helpful to outline what Stratyfy does and sort of that really unique niche that you occupy.
Stratyfy provides interpretable machine learning solutions to help our customers address and expand their lending, who did they lend to, reduce fraud, address bias in their machine learning models, and also address fair lending concerns. And we do that all with our very unique technology.
Right, interesting. So I'd love to hear why you focus on interpretable ML versus explainable ML.
Yeah. That's our very specific area that I will unpack a little bit.
Sure.
Interpretable is, when we say interpretable, it is at the time of the model building, at the time of predictions, you're looking at making it very clear, very human readable, with no additional overlaying models or anything else. It's human readable at the time where models are being created. If you're thinking about explainable, it's after the fact. After the model is created, if I would say it, here it is, and you have another thing that goes on top that tries to explain it.
Right.
And there is a very, if you are explainable, how are you making sure that you are explaining the explainable?
Right.
But if you are interpretable and human readable from the point of model creation, from the point of strategy creation, you're then, all you have to do is, if you know English, you're seeing it. You don't need additional data scientists. You are understanding. If you understand your data, you're understanding what is happening.
Right. That is really important. A question though is, does one kind of ML priority require more capital to bring it into existence versus another?
From an effort perspective, I mean, well, we are the technology provider. We have our patent pending technology that provides this interpretability. We're not selling models. But what happens is when I was talking to a lot of the customers, and everybody has the same concern right now. Amount of effort is going to take to go through model risk management.
Right.
A lot of the concerns around how is the regulators going to say yes to these AI coming into our world, their world. And for that, if you are interpretable from get-go, you really do not need additional work to explain what's happening to your regulators. Your regulators are able to see what's happening right there.
Right.
It reduces the effort in adoption of this technique.
Right.
So all of a sudden, you're getting the best and the best of the AI, the automation that AI brings, the
Hmm.
accuracy it brings, without the downsides of everything we're concerned about.
Right. Right. Do you require certain kinds of staffing to make that kind of technological process feasible?
That's a very good uh, point. I'm going to step back for just a second.
Sure.
To be able to, regardless of which methodology you use, when you're thinking about AI, you need to think about digital transformation,
Right.
because digital
Right.
transformation is the core of it. If you want to use this very powerful tool to do
Hmm.
many things, you need to be really having that digital transformation mindset that's going to
Right.
impact many things.
Right.
So it's not a point, I'm going to just automate this step. So when you think of it that way, you're you're going to, of course, need staffing from that perspective. But if you have an interpretable AI approach, then you don't need additional data scientists. You need people who understand data, who day in day out work with data,
Hmm.
and they can work with it. So the impact, I'm going to go back to what I just
Sure.
said. You're getting what you need. Uh, the power of the AI without the concerns around it.
Right. Right. Absolutely. So, what has this meant for you as COO to be working specifically on interpretability instead of explainability?
So I joined Stratyfy. I was their advisor for a couple of years before becoming a
Cool.
COO for 3 years. So I've been in this journey for 5 years with them,
Yeah.
and I do have to say that the first time I've seen the product, that was back before I was even an advisor. I said, "This is it. If we are going to have a a, a solution, a technology that can make an impact in financial services, adoptable, this is it." And what it means today is, I am working in the implementations and transformations that our clients are working on. It is a very powerful tool. A lot of things that you could do, um, but it's the change that we're seeing in the mindset now. Once
Hmm.
you're doing that, how about uh, how about um, fair lending solutions? Do you have fair lending? Yes, of course, because we are interpretable, so we have
Right.
products that are on that suite.
Right.
Um, and how about more on the loan life cycle? How about fraud? So once you start that adaptability journey, it's bringing how about and the next thing.
Right. Right. It creates sort of this
Yeah,
chain reaction.
yeah.
Totally. I have two questions left. One
Mhm.
is, what do you anticipate for Stratify in the coming year?
Growth, continued growth. We are a part of this. We are a technology provider or technology partner of a initiative called Underwriting for Racial Justice. We are working with 20 um, community banks, CDFIs, and banks that are trying to get capital into underserved communities. This
Hmm.
is where there is embedded bias in the data, embedded challenges,
Right.
and that program has kicked off, and we're bringing on these financial institutions. So this year we will be announcing the impact this has done. So this is
Okay.
going to be a very big step,
Right.
because this is going to be the first year of a 2-year initiative. And as the sole technology provider, we are going to be the ones that are going to make quite a bit of, I would say, visibility into that market from an AI perspective.
Absolutely. Absolutely. It'll be really interesting to see kind of the outcomes of that for
Yeah.
sure. Because I remember when that was initially launched, there was quite a bit of excitement
Yeah,
around.
and right now we're
Mhm.
onboarding all of them, all of the financial institutions. So it's very exciting. We are going to be announcing that that's going to also be a standard, I would say,
Yeah.
moving forward. We will, and we continue to grow on both on the credit risk as well as lending as well as on the fraud side.
Totally. My last question is whether there are any questions I haven't asked that you feel like I should have.
So, question you haven't asked. I think you have asked all the questions, but I do want to go back to the nuance of interpretability versus explainability. I think the future is going to be interpretable, not explainable, because we need to remove the barriers of entry. Right now, it is when you say, I think every financial institution is say, when you say AI, is like, no, but yes, because
Right.
in order to be able to compete, you have to use something that's going to power your world. But you can't do that with the concerns that everybody has. But some of these concerns are very easily addressed.
Right.
But we for that, I think the solution is not trying to address the regulatory concerns or any other black box concerns with the traditional mindset, but just make it interpretable, make it visible, so you do not need to have the prescriptive controls around it. Instead, it is the same control, the same logic of the regulation, same logic of compliance is actually already embedded into the
Right.
adoption of the AI.
Great. Well, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you for having me.
Of course.
It's great to be here.